What's up and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Annabel and today I'm going to be bringing you a Q&A to answer some questions about my journey in DJing so far and also some of the more technical stuff. So let's get straight into it. I started DJing probably about 2 years ago and no, it wasn't my first love. I always knew I wanted to be in music, but I started out making my own music, so singing, songwriting and producing. And I couldn't really find my style in that side of things, so I kind of naturally transitioned into presenting, which I love. And then from there, I decided I wanted to be closer to the music again, so an old friend of mine lent me his controller and I decided to give it a go. I've never taken a lesson for DJing. I've learned everything I know from the internet, from amazing YouTube tutorials and also from friends along the way who've taught me some tips and tricks. I was really lucky with my first gig. I think it happened a few weeks after I put my first mix out, but I did have a slightly different journey into DJing. Because I had all that experience in the music industry already, I had built up a bit of a network. So a friend of mine had followed my journey learning to DJ and she reached out and asked if I wanted to DJ for her event. I definitely was not ready to DJ live, but I'm forever grateful for that opportunity because it's the only way to get started. You have to throw yourself in the deep end. So again, because I was fortunate enough to have a bit of a network in the industry already, I've never really had to email venues and club nights to pitch myself for gigs. But what I will say is my best tool has definitely been social media. I've been sharing my journey from the very beginning, all the mistakes I've made, all the technical problems I've encountered, and actually I think all of my gigs have come to me through social media, so I definitely encourage you to constantly share content and clips of your work on there. Unfortunately, just as my DJ career started kicking off, we had the pandemic, so I haven't actually done too many big gigs, but I'd say my biggest one so far was probably G-Shock in London. I'd done a couple of gigs by that point, but they'd been fairly low-key in terms of the event dynamics. But this one, like, the room was packed, there was so many familiar faces in the crowd, and it was the first time I really felt the pressure to keep the energy going with the music. But seeing the crowd's reactions to every song I brought in was just the most incredible feeling. So after playing around with a couple of songs I already had on my iTunes when I was figuring out the DJing stuff, I decided to take it seriously and I subscribed to DJ City, which I really recommend. And I've also used BPM Supreme, so you can definitely check out a couple of record pools out there and see which style you prefer because they all have different types of edits and music. If I can't find a song on my record pool, I will check Beatsource, Beatport and iTunes to buy the file. And I also get my more underground edits from SoundCloud. A lot of artists will make them available for free in return for a bit of support on their song. So a great technique is using transition edits. A lot of record pools offer these and it's where the song begins in a different BPM and then works up or down to its original BPM throughout the intro. Another technique is a simple echo out and bring the next song in on the beat of the echo. You just want to make sure the next song is a certified banger to keep the momentum going. I probably started doing this during my Adidas sets because the sets are a little bit longer and you have more time to freestyle and of course you want to please all the customers. But generally if the tracks are a similar BPM and the same key, they should go together really well. The only thing you want to look out for is maybe the clash of the rhythm with the drums and the bass. So try to play with a cappella intros and outros where you can to avoid that clashing. I do. In fact, before I even started DJing, I ran a blog for emerging R&B artists, so I'm always trying to shine a light on new talent, and my email address is available across all of my platforms if you want to submit your music. Thanks to Pioneer DJ, my current setup is the new DDJ FLX6, which I have in front of me here, and I use this with Rekordbox 6. For me, just having 4 channels has unlocked a whole new level of DJing. Even the size of the jog wheels and the controller overall just feels a lot more similar to a club setup too. I'm yet to use the merge effects, but I have used the jog cutter, and I have to say, as someone who hasn't learnt to scratch yet, it just feels a lot less daunting and it's a really fun way to get into it. So maybe one day soon I'll start learning the real thing. That is an awesome question and I'd love to go into more detail about that in a separate video because it's taken me a while to develop my brand, but I've really enjoyed the process. What I will say though is definitely focus on quality over quantity, be consistent, and also a great place to start is creating a mood board for your brand and trying to stick to that with everything that you do. It might take you a while to develop your sound or your style as a DJ, but at least everything that you put out will look the part along the way. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching the Q&A, and I hope you've enjoyed it or found it helpful in some way. A special thanks to everyone who submitted questions on my Instagram stories, and as I said, I'm sure I'll be back soon to answer questions in more detail in other videos. I've dropped links to my socials if you'd like to follow, and links to my mixes if you'd like to check those out, and I've also recently become a Twitch affiliate, so you can come and watch me live stream there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll be back soon.